Moses joining the desk of Lloydminster Bobcats in action last night, but it was pretty impressive. Like, they had a chance to leapfrog the Crew to actually be second in the North Division.
And they've been doing it to teams ever since they got on that hot winning streak. Of course, it started with Whitecourt, started with guys like, Sherwood Park at one point, Bonnyville. Then you look at those pesky Fort Mac Oil Barons. Now they had a chance to do it once again to the Crew. This one would require overtime. The Cats, how about this? They were victorious in a 2-1 overtime win. Austin Yaremchuk playing the hero, getting his first goal of the season while playing in his hometown. He's also the first defenseman not named Coons or Springer to get a goal from the back end. The Cats are back in action this Friday for a Halloween tilt at the Civic Center against the Drayton Valley Thunder. Now, it's been a battle for the ages, the Holy Rosary Raiders and the Lloyd Comp Barons. They will fight for bragging rights and a nice trophy to boot. The Raiders have been on a roll, remaining unbeaten, including a victory over those pesky Barons. But the Raiders expect a different team this time around.
The intensity will be the same. I think the nerves will be the same, at least for our guys. I know we're kind of anxious and ready to get going. There's pressure. It's more meaningful. It's everybody wants to win their league, so yeah, it's got a different feel.
Two teams in the same city vying for one championship. The Holy Rosary Raiders hope to add another title to the mix, and who better to face than their crosstown rivals, who will also be in the final.
Since we found out they won and we're going to be in the final with them, we've been really excited, working hard. Even though it's cold, we get our work done.
The Raiders have earned home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and on a cold night in November, there's no better place they want to be, even though the purple and gold contingent will be out in full force.
As far as fans are concerned, I'm guessing it'll be a pretty equal balance, being that it's in town. But if there's a home field advantage, it's at our school, so we'll take that for what it's worth.
We can't underestimate them, and they're still a good team, and even though it's across town, we kind of have the advantage of getting the home field, but it's still going to be a tough game.
Despite winning the lone meeting 31-1, the Raiders aren't satisfied. Turnovers and mistakes were a problem, and they know they can't afford another slow start.
We've been watching film all week and stuff, and that first half we had against them was a little rough. It was a little shaky all around, but once we got rid of that, second half we really did good against them, and we kind of took what we did good there and might look and see what we can use, how we can use it against them again.
Hopefully we want to shut them out again, but we know their offense is going to be coming hard this game, and our defense is going to be ready, but again, it's going to be a battle for sure on the line.
If there's big mistakes and things don't look quite right, it's typically not the athletes, it's the system. So we want to make sure that we have sound systems and put the kids in a really good position to execute.
Meanwhile, the Barons are preparing for their tilt in a different way. The team has adopted a new ideal under a new head coach and hopes to become a new champion in the Wheatland Football League.
Football purists will agree that the game is won or lost in the trenches, a philosophy echoed by former offensive lineman and first-year head coach Aaron Harper.
We want playoff football in the cold, put your hand in the dirt and get after it. So I love our guys up front, and they're tough dudes, and I think they'll get after it. I'm not worried about them being intimidated or being outplayed at all.
Our O-line has to do its job with their blocking, otherwise we won't get the time to pass and we won't get the holes to run. So if we take care of those, everything starts with the O-line. So if we take care of that, we'll do fine.
The Barons' only blemish to a successful season was to the hands of the Holy Rosary Raiders. That was back in September, a game that saw the defense shine and the offense struggle.
They offered us different looks than what we were used to, but now this time around we studied them a little further, and it shouldn't be too hard to pick apart their defense if we stick to our game plan.
Just mental issues. Guys weren't covering who they should have because they were confused, so we're going to straighten that out this week.
The Barons have kept this week of practice simple, knowing not to get ahead of themselves despite the implications.
Even though it is a championship game, we're just trying to focus on what's ahead of us for the day instead of what's ahead of us 3 days from now.
Get better every rep. Every rep you take, don't take a rep off. Practice is everything.
There's no use worrying about Saturday on a Thursday. Can't let things that's happened in the past be in your mind either. So focus on the play in front of you, the guy in front of you, and win every rep.
That's all the time we have in sports. Gerard Lampow will have your weather details coming up. We're already into week 3 of the ACAC basketball season, and the Lakeland Rustlers women's team have an undefeated record, 4-0, and especially impressive with a team with 8 rookies, especially that. 8 rookies. Anyways, they start the season 4-0, and they've been very positive. Veteran Cameo McCurley, definitely impressive with how quickly the chemistry on her team has developed.
With the rookies coming in, they're ahead of most rookies, so we started off, I think, ahead of where we've been before, and we still have a lot to work on, but we're, I'd say, at one of the best positions we've been this early in the year before.
And the rookies will be heavily relied on this weekend.
This weekend could be a weekend where you see a couple different high scores just because teams are going to be keying on Cameo and Amber, and you're going to see some other girls step up and have big games.
The Rustlers take on Grand Prairie Friday and Saturday. One of their key weapons, Haley England, who has notched 26 points in 2 games.
I think athletically we're at a much higher level than them. That being said, it's a little bit dangerous because you don't want to rely just on your athleticism, right? So we need to play smart basketball. Defensively, we should be able to hold them down, and if we don't pay attention to detail, they are going to score on us, especially someone like Haley who can score from anywhere.
We're kind of playing a smaller team, so being one of the bigger players and having a bigger team, I think we really should do well on the boards this weekend. And as a team, we've been really working on communication and our defense this week, so hopefully we can step that up for this weekend, and that will really, I think, make a difference in our play.